Hi guys, welcome to this week's video. This will be part 2 of me drawing myself in different anime styles, and we are starting with Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, which you can see on the screen right now. So Toilet Bound Hanako-kun is honestly one of my favorite series, and I know there's only one season of the anime, but I've read the manga, like the first 17 volumes or something, and I love it so much. So it also has a very distinct style, and I really love Aida Iro's style, so I knew that I had to include this art style. So I gathered some references on Canva, but I also have like 5 volumes as well as the art book that I used as reference. I wanted to do this like fun pose with the hands, I don't know if you can see that yet, but it was my first thing that I drew today, and I was in a really bad mood, so it didn't turn out all too well, but I did my best. I wasn't gonna pressure myself too much, and I had already procrastinated more than enough. So the most distinct feature of Aida Iro's style was obviously like the coloring and the fun colors and everything they used, so I really tried to replicate that. I didn't do all that well, but I think in the end it did turn out kind of recognizable. I especially love how he did the hair, because I've drawn my hair a whole bunch of times already, like 5 times. If you want to see the first 5 times, by the way, you can watch last week's video. I'd appreciate it. Alright, anyways, I really love how the hair turned out, because it was different from all the other ones, and I just like it. And so a big struggle last time and this time as well is that there are really not a lot of anime characters that have curly hair, and I had to like either give myself straight hair, which I don't have, or I had to like figure out a way to make it look like the style even though I didn't have a reference. And my hair is also like 2-colored because I have really long grown out roots that I liked to also put in there. So it was kind of a struggle this week. Spoiler. But I like how I did it with this one. And then for the outfit, I gave myself like a tie in yellow because yellow is my favorite color. And other than that, I don't have all that much to say about it. Like I said, I do think it's recognizable in the end, even though I don't really like how it turned out. But that is the first one, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I hope you like it. So next up we have Bungou Stray Dogs. For me, I've only seen the first 3 seasons actually. I know that, in my mind it's recently, but it's probably been a while that season 4 came out. And I also have volume 1 of the manga, but I have it in Italian because I bought it in Italy for like €1, so I was like, I cannot keep this. I have to buy this. I speak like 3 words Italian, but you know, I do have it. So this one was also a bit of a struggle because I was already getting tired, but I mostly looked at the doctor girl whose name I forgot. It's something with a K, I'm sorry, and Dazai. The face especially was a struggle in the beginning, but we got there. And then I gave myself a suit because many people are wearing a suit in Bungou Stray Dogs, and I just like wearing suits. Well, just a tie with a shirt, but I gave myself that. And then for the hair, there are once again not really any characters with curly hair, but we have Chuya, which kind of has like sort of curly hair, so it kind of looked like that. I like kind of followed the shapes. The thing that I noticed the most with the Bungou Stray Dogs art styles is just that it's very sharp and like square in a way. So like if you can make it sharp, which is in big contrast with the next one. And then for the like multicolored hair bit, I looked at Akutagawa because he has like kind of blended hair, like white and black, and I just kind of followed that. And I think overall, as we look at the result, it turned out well and recognizable. I kind of like it. And also one thing I want to mention, I only chose art styles of shows or series or manga or whatever that I've actually seen. So I've never seen JoJo's or Naruto or, I don't know, One Piece, so you're not gonna see those, I'm sorry. And next up we have Demon Slayer, and this is probably the one that I like the most, the way it turned out. So I was very nervous to do Demon Slayer because it has such a distinct art style and it's so like popular. But it's also very diverse if you look at like the hair and the eyes especially. So I was like, how am I gonna make my own with this? So I started with the outfit because I was scared. I just gave myself a normal Demon Slayer outfit. But even though Demon Slayer is so incredibly diverse, there was still no one with really curly hair. Wow, who would have guessed? Except for maybe Nezuko, she's like kind of wavy hair, and Muzan kind of has curly hair, but once again his hair is really short. But I just kind of once again tried to follow those shapes and just make like, even if Muzan only has 2 curls, I just like tried copying those curls over and over again until I got like all of my hair. And then for the eyes, I just made like big eyes and I was like, this is it. And then I actually redrew them because I didn't like it. But then I was like, yeah, this is it. And then for the rest of the face, I like that I was able to give myself like orangey lips. It's not that I have particularly orangey lips or that I wear lipstick, but I think it's just more like a thing that I do when I draw. I just like drawing orange lips. And then the nose is just very basic. I think everyone has that nose. So I gave it myself as well. And then lastly, for the blonde part of my hair, there were actually a lot of characters who had multiple colored hair, so that was great. And they mostly did like a gradient, so that's just what I did. And then just simple anime shading. And then we have the final results. Yay! I think it's still recognizable as the anime's art style, but not just because it looks like a certain character, but rather because I actually managed to copy the style in a way, I think. I don't know, let me know if you agree. And then next up we have Pokemon, more specifically Pokemon Indigo League. At this point I was getting really tired, but I gathered my references. I mostly looked at this one girl whose name I do not know. And also for the hair, like somehow my best reference that I could find was Ash when he wore that blonde wig. But a reference is a reference. So I kind of have never played a Pokemon game. I have one on my phone from, I think it's Pokemon White or Black, I don't know. But I have collected cards as a kid, and I actually played the TCG card game. That's a thing. I don't think many people have done that. And I'm watching these series because that's the best thing I can do. And I like it, just like in the background when I'm drawing. I think my brother had Pokemon White, but you only had, like on the DS Lite, but you could only have one account. And I didn't want to delete his account, so I was never able to play it. But I like looking at the physical cards. Anyways, I added Azurill because it's one of my favorite Pokemon. And I looked it up, and it has 2 abilities, and one of them is Thick Fat, which, what even does that do? And the other one is Huge Power, and I also thought that was kind of funny. And then for the clothes, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Also, I forgot to say in the beginning when I was starting with the face, it looked like the most basic, oh, draw me an anime girl face. And I was like, no, this is not gonna turn out. But I think in the end, it did turn out. I think the show has very same face syndrome from the references that I could find. So all I had to do was copy that. Did it look like me? Not really, but you know, you win some, you lose some. For the clothes, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I kind of ripped off this one girl's clothes, but I made them yellow because yellow is still my favorite color. And I made it like Misty's yellow, so I made sure that it actually fits in the universe. And then for the hair, which was a struggle as well, which you've probably seen by now, I just made it one color because one, I was getting really tired and did not want to figure out how they would do this because I don't even think it was possible at that time in animation. So I just made it one brown color and called it a day. And with that, we have the final drawing. Oh, and I added like a kind of retro filter to make it look more like an old frame from the show. And then next up we have Tokyo Revengers, and can you guess, at this time I was getting really tired, it was getting late and I was so done with it. And I actually think this is the one that turned out the worst, so saving the best for last is not something we're doing today. But okay, Tokyo Revengers is one of the few shows where I've actually read more of the manga together with Toilet Hanako-kun. I am, however, watching the 3rd season, the Tenjiku arc, and from the manga, which I read like a while ago at this point, I remember that being my favorite arc, so I'm excited for that. I also remember it going downhill from there, the story, but we're gonna see. I do like the show, so I think it has a very distinct art style, and I somehow wasn't able to copy it, but I did my best. I especially struggled with the hair because, well, no one has curly hair. Wow, what a surprise. But I did my best. And then like midway through coloring, I was like, wait a minute. The lines are way too thick. So I redid most of the line art, and I hate doing line art, so I was desperate at that point. I think it kind of helped, but it still didn't like salvage. But it still didn't but it didn't help that much. It did not. For the clothing, I figured that a hoodie would fit as well as could be, because they are just because in the show they're mostly wearing regular clothing. There's a pigeon flying towards. Oh, okay. Pigeons are cute. Anyways, for the iris, in an attempt to save this drawing, I mostly copied Emma's. It still didn't really work. And then when it came to shading the hair, there is so much diverse and multicolored hair, but I still couldn't really find what I was looking for. But so I just made it a gradient. I was done with it. I called it a day, did simple shading, and then it was finished. There we have it. And we've gotten to the end of the video. If there's one thing I've learned these 2 weeks, it is that we need way more characters, anime characters with curly hair. I can understand that like native Japanese people don't have curly hair, but a lot of them don't even take place in Japan, right? So just give me characters with curly hair. And once again, if you're gonna do this challenge as well, pick a character with straight hair. I think overall these 5 drawings took about 2.5 hours, which really isn't that bad, but that doesn't include gathering references, which also took a while, and like other planning. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, maybe click that subscribe button. If you haven't already, we're really close to 1,000, and that's just insane. So if you want to help me get to that goal, I'd really appreciate it. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Be sure to do some stretches, and be sure to draw in that sketchbook of yours. Well, have an amazing day. Bye bye.